Mic check 1212. Aloha, hello, and goodbye, Ozathoth. Hello, Alone, Karis Sophia. Welcome, Stormageddon, Jude, Barbara Gorgon, glad to have you. Chevrolet Diesel Nation, Robert O'Pree. Okay, good, so you guys can hear me. Yes, excellent. Small victories, one at a time. I gotta say, I'm excited. I'm going to Pax South tomorrow. Like that green flame back there. I don't know if you can see it back there. Gotta take that with me to get it signed by the C-Team cast. And the A-Team cast if I run into any of them. Everyone. Anyway. Super, super duper excited about going to PAX South. But that means no stream tomorrow. This is going to be the last stream of the week. And Monday is Martin Luther King Day. So I don't think I'm going to be streaming then either. Because, well, for one thing, we're going to be returning from PAX South, and then even if I could theoretically get over here, I'd have to bring my daughter, and it would be a whole mess. So no stream today, no stream tomorrow, no stream Monday, but stream today. Okay, so last stream of the week, thanks to PAX South and Martin Luther King Day. So let's go ahead. Welcome everybody else who's come in. Night Repaired Cape, glad to have you guys, as well as Nightem 2. Glad everybody's here. Okay. Anybody else that I missed? Jew9, D-Killer, welcome. Any other viewers hiding in the wings? Me333, glad to have you. Alrighty. So, here's what we are going to do. We are going to move out of setting up stream mode. Fall for absolutely zero reason. We need to organize our chest a bit, I think, and, or I say chests. We need to figure out what materials we actually want to build our thing out of. Whoops. That's helpful, but only if I'm putting the right thing down. And actually get it constructed. I'm thinking about using light blue wool and glowstone, so these are good materials to have in our inventory. Slightly damaged anvil, a little bit less important. Same thing for the sticks and the white carpets. Now, I might want actually, though, to have a bunch of signs. Are these dark oak planks? So we'll go ahead and we'll make some signs before we go. Because, you know, who loves crafting during the video? Not most people. So, okay. Go ahead and drop off. Rain in dark oak slabs, dark oak sand. You know, actually, I kind of like the idea of putting some of the sand... Yeah, we'll hold on to some of the sand. But, okay, in short, we've freed up a little bit of inventory space. And we are going to go. Which thing are we building? We are going to be working on our nether hub more. Barbara Gorgon says, is it just me or did he get a haircut? I did get a haircut. It's true. And my skin is back. I didn't... No, I'm just Steve now. My skin is missing. My skin has my @ symbol on it. Don't know what's going on there. Let me cough for a... So that's strange. Okay. Hello, Grizzly Moo. Welcome to Kajin Gaming. Welcome, everybody. So... Let's go ahead and get our fireworks out here so we have them. Okay. We want to start the episode somewhere cool looking. Okay, the tweet just went out announcing the stream via Hermitcraft Twitter. So now's a good time to get started. Let me just mute and clear my throat. Okay, so we're going to turn the face cam off and start recording. Okay, where should we actually start the recording from, though? Up here is always nice. Dang it. It's easier to go up that way. Ah, I'm missing half a chunk of that, dang it. You know what? Do I have any boats down here? I do. Let's go ahead and grab this. Okay. I feel like my voice is warmed up enough, but... Alright. Howdy, y'all. Joe Hills here. You know what? Actually, I started with exactly this angle 2 days ago. So we're going to switch to a different angle, and then we'll start the load. Robert O'Pree suggests mixing sandstone with the sand on the patio. I feel like that would hurt people's toes. Sand is better for toes. Okay. Here we go. Howdy, y'all. Joe Hills here, recording as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee. And today, around Red Sky Bay, we have a little bit more work to do on our visitor's entrance and nether hub kind of setup. Now, in our last episode, we moved that mining portal that goes in the waterfall over there out of the center so that it is a little bit less, let's just say visually dominant for people coming in through here. Now, what we have not done, however, is to establish kind of a new way for people to get redirected to various places through here. So what I'm kind of thinking is I would take the glass that we've got here and kind of break it with my Silk Touch pickaxe in order to create some sort of a larger kind of surface. Now, I'm not sure if I want to completely get rid of the white wool here, but I will definitely need to smash and bash all of this. And in the process, you know, we're going to be doing a lot. Actually, how big should I make this? Because realistically, if I was going to make this circular, I might even need to start it as far back as this so I can point it to there. So, yeah, okay. So we're going to have a lot of breaking in this episode. Tons of breaking. Smash and grab. Also, one thing I wanted to discuss is I was talking on Discord with a fellow named King Noobs, and he mentioned something about Quantum Leap, and it reminded me that a while back I started working on some Dungeon Master rules for running a Dungeons & Dragons campaign that kind of had a Quantum Leap feel to it. For those of you guys who don't know, Quantum Leap was a show made in the 80s. I think Tom P. Bellisario was the name of the originator of the idea and showrunner. And famously, it starred the guy who went on to play Captain Archer in Star Trek Enterprise. But anyway, before we get too off track, like, what I kind of wanted to say was that, you know, basically the underlying premise of Quantum Leap is that there's this guy who is getting teleported into other people's bodies all over time and space. Well, I say all over time and space. Mostly within the United States and almost entirely within his own lifetime. Because one of the limitations of kind of the Quantum Leap thing, is, the time travel rules or whatever, is that he can only travel within his own lifetime. And when he arrives, he doesn't know whose body he's inside of or what their identity is or anything about why he's there. But there's something there that went wrong in the past that he has to fix. And I was thinking, like, you could kind of run a Dungeons & Dragons campaign like this, where your players are innately, like, first-level adventurers who somehow are recruited by a king or a sorcerer or something like that to participate in some sort of magical time travel experiment. And every time that they, and basically something goes wrong, and they're sent back in time, and they have to fix things in order to, you know, go to the next assignment. But each time they do, they can't control where they go next, much like Quantum Leap, and they can't control whose bodies they jump into. So you might have everybody with, like, level 1 characters, you know, in the shell or outer story, but then in the kind of Quantum Leap past that they're sent into, the Dungeon Master might hand them, like, level 4 character sheets or something like that and say, okay, you are now a level 4 wizard because that's the body of the person you jumped into. that sort of thing. And it'd be interesting, I think, to see how players handled that. You'd have probably, let's say 4 or so, yeah, let's say 4. You'd probably have, why am I saying 4? Oh, because that's how many of these I have. I was gonna say, you'd probably have 1 to 3 episodes within kind of each setting. Like, you send them back in time, and then they have, you know, that you would spend a few sessions in that time period, so they would have a chance to learn each new character that they take over. But you could basically do kind of a survey of the worlds of Dungeons and Dragons, or of the concepts or classes or whatever of Dungeons and Dragons characters, without necessarily locking your players into playing a specific thing indefinitely. And like, I was thinking with the setting, what you would do is ideally the Dungeon Master would have to work out in advance, like, kind of how the different leaps or collections of sessions within a particular time and place would ultimately affect each other. So that players feel like, like they might run into descendants of people from a previous adventure through their time travel, or they might run into ancestors, but the things that they had done would have in some way impacted the lives of the people that they're bouncing around into. But hey, welcome! Thank you for the Toffee raid, Toffee. Hotbot is now says Toffee is now hosting me. Welcome, raiders. Welcome, Resonant Virus. Welcome, everybody. We are working on my Nether hub here, and I'm actually realizing I don't have any shears. But yeah, let's see. So yeah, this is kind of our Nether hub. It's a work in progress. The ceiling's a lot more impressive over this way for anybody who's unfamiliar with what we're doing. The concept of the Nether is you can travel 1/8 the distance in the Nether, and it'll correspond with coordinates in the overworld. And, you know, so that's a big time saver. We already... Dang it, okay. You know, I walked over here to see how this would look, and then I come back, and there's already a pigman that has spawned on this platform, which I suppose I should just be grateful that he is not aghast, and I would be aghast if such a thing were to spawn, because, you know, this whole place is full of expensive stuff at this point. But, ooh, you know, I was just thinking, like, that this circular center here, I would use, like, light blue wool to kind of cover with, but maybe I need to use light blue carpet on top of glowstone, because if I put actual wool here, we're gonna have this like whole other issue where ghasts are spawning, and that's really bad. Whoa, hey buddy, can I just kind of push you off the side here, just a little nudge? One less thing to worry about. Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead and dip into our shulker boxes and try to find a set of shears, or I don't know, a box of iron. This is the problem with having so many shulker boxes all of a sudden, is I'm completely and utterly unprepared for the experience. But yeah. Okay, so we'll just grab this like so. Well, I'm immediately regretting breaking all of that glass now that I know I'm going to have to put it back with the cyan wool. Although I could... You know, I'm having some second thoughts about this. Maybe I shouldn't have it come back around. Like right now I'm trying to make like a circle here. But what if I just had it kind of end? Like, or expand out? So, like, it expands out, but then it just stops somehow? So it kind of says like, hey, you've arrived. Now, and the arrival point might need to be earlier because of like the way that these angular lines are going to go. Like, we want these angular lines to point to the first few portals. So like, ideally, if we're going to have this go at a 45-degree angle, we need to really, instead of having this be here, we would want to have this be walking along here, walking along here, Wow, we'd almost want that to be right there for 45. Is that right? 45 degree? Yeah, that's going to point to there. Okay. So once again, did not really think this through. But we just kind of want to generally have this kind of go that way. And then we'll remove this. Now that gets kind of weird with how we've got the wool underneath here, though. But I don't know. Let's just kind of see how it goes. Maybe we don't even want this main underpath here. I don't want to second-guess myself too much, but I am kind of inclined to second-guess myself incessantly because, you know, everything can always be better. But do we have time for it to be better? Is at a certain point the question we have to ask ourselves. Whoops. And are we helping or hurting is another question we should be asking ourselves. Because that's clearly a case of hurting and not helping. Dang it. Okay. Let's grab this while we're down here. Okay, so we are going to want to... Let's set up some of these shulker boxes temporarily over here. Just so we can access them as we go. Whoops, probably don't want that one there because that's a tunnel. Okay. Let's see. Let's put some of this back away since we're not going to need it imminently. Flat box and at your hills box. Okay. So we'll go ahead and break these as well. And start clearing out all the wool here. Welcome, Zybermine. Welcome, Mr. Blobs. Welcome, Snake Charmer. Glad to have everybody here. This is probably going to end up being time-lapsed out, so... Or not time, well, like time speeded up. So, no real harm in taking a second to acknowledge the chat. Glad to have you here, Zybermine. Okay, so, we're just going to kind of pull this out of here. Now, this does create the problem that we can no longer see that clearly, or unclearly. I don't know. But yeah, if we want this to point straight like that way, we kind of need it to go, yeah, like here. So I'm eyeballing this, and I think that the right thing to do is going to be to set up these glowstone like this. And I haven't figured out exactly where the optimal cutoff point is for the wool on the initial part of the tunnel here. Or even how to kind of, maybe I should diagonally shear it from there to there as I go. Like, this is going to sound crazy, but, you know, everything I do sound crazy. So, why not? But, like, just basically walk this way. And, like, over time. So, if I wanted to go from here... Whoops. Probably wanted to keep that one, actually, in particular, but... like, start removing some of these. So we'll remove everything past there. And we'll, like, kind of leave some of these in. And we'll eventually, slowly, kind of have these meet in the middle. So, should be okay, I think. You know, obviously I could just count out the number of blocks between those two and then figure out the slope from there. But that also sounds like, you know, actual work. So, not sure I'm too keen on that. Okay. So in the meantime, what we're going to do is just take care of all of these extra, clearly unnecessary blocks of wool. And, wow. I did not expect to have so much wool out of that. That's plenty. Let's go ahead and grab all that. And then we can start replacing kind of some of this ceilings of this area / floor of the other area to make everything look ship-shape again. You know, I'm thinking that this is maybe not a good or an optimal... That might be okay. So let's go ahead and head back this way and up the ladder. Probably should eat some chicken real quick. Nom 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 nom. Alright, so I've gone ahead and I've set up these two kind of split glowstone branches off from this main path here, as well as kind of established a rough kind of cut in the wool underneath here. So we have this nice, comfortable path that folks will start coming down when they enter initially. And then as they go further and further into here, they're going to go like, whoa, this place is gigantic, because, well, it is. So that's good, you know. So, also, I guess I should continue kind of talking about that Dungeons & Dragons Quantum Leap idea. I was thinking, let's see, that I should probably also continue talking a little bit about the Dungeons & Dragons Quantum Leap idea. So, anyway, there'd be a lot of work for the Dungeon Master in creating the setting for all this, because you would have to keep in mind how historical events of one adventure might affect the next one, and there'd be more work for the players because they'd be learning how to play a new kind of character every few sessions. But you know, as long as you're not giving them too much like crazy high-end magic use stuff, or as long as they were already familiar kind of with the underlying tenets of characters in Dungeons & Dragons, you'd probably be okay. I don't know, the whole thing is highly experimental because you're not playing the game at all how it's intended to be played. But I think that that has some merit too. You know, you gotta kind of stress out a system in order to understand its strengths and weaknesses to some degree. So, anyway, just kind of thinking about that, like, I don't know, you'd really have to have players who wanted to play in a campaign like this, though. You couldn't just spring this on them. Because if they were like, okay, I rolled this character I really want to play, and then you're like, great, you're going to play that person, but that person's going to be a completely different class and species than you originally thought. It's like, wait, what? That's weird. I don't know. Okay. So just kind of as I'm looking at all this, one thing that jumps out at me is that I should probably have another kind of glowstone branch at some point, kind of coming out from this portal, kind of saying like, hey, go to this one. Whoops, that's not how you do it. Also, this one for the mouth of Red Sky Bay, I was thinking because we have the sand in front of the actual mouth of Red Sky Bay, it'd be cool if we had... Whoops, whoa, not what I wanted to do at all. Ender Pearl. It'd be cool if we had some sand up here, too. Although, you know, some of that might be more complicated now that I've done this. But yeah, here we go. Kind of to reinforce that, like, what's over here type of thing. Maybe put some sand along there. Whoops. A little bit more than I needed to remove there, but... yeah, just that sort of little kind of framing element can be really helpful. So, we would, like, label this then, the mouth of Red Perfect. And we should probably put like a little torch above that, just so that folks can read the sign. There we go. Okay. So then I was thinking kind of, if I came out from here diagonally, I should have like a similar kind of multi-glowstone thing with a sign that says, you know, kind of points toward that. Now the problem with that is if I'm going at the 45-degree angle, that's going to be like all the way here. It's going to be pretty far up, I think. But let's see. If we wanted it to start at the same place and go about 4 blocks, though, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoops. Misplaced everything. Yeah. Okay, so then we would have like... I wonder if I should use the fence posts for this. That might also be worth investigating, because these fence posts with signs on them, Burma shave style, have been pretty good. Okay. Yeah, and then I could even possibly reintroduce some of these like floor tiles, kind of almost like as islands, hovering above certain elements here. Oh, I actually really like that. So, for example, I could put some directly underneath here, kind of leading toward here to make people feel like, okay, this is clearly more of a path. Okay, yeah, this has some merit. Not sure exactly how much, but we'll have to kind of think about this on a case-by-case basis. Oh, that's interesting too, because the further out parts could possibly also have kind of some sort of... the wool would follow the ripples more. Huh. Yeah, okay. I'm just kind of thinking this through as I do it, and there's a lot of strengths to that. But one thing I want to do, I think, is to take some of the extra wool and to fix up some of the carpet that's missing places, or missing pieces, because there's plenty of that right now. So let's go ahead and take care of some of that. Time skip. Stretching out on the time skip. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and run downstairs with the wool we've got. Like, it just makes sense to use as much of this as possible. Ooh, not that far. Okay. So yeah, like if we fill in a whole bunch of this, that's gonna be pretty good for us. Dang it. Far fewer guests spawning over here for sure, which has been a continuous threat to my well-being. Let's see. Why can't the glowstone lines match up? Because they point to different things. Think of them like off-ramps. Excellent question, though, Snake Charmer. Grizzly Moo says, do love a time skip. Yeah, unfortunately you don't get to enjoy all of its magical benefits in this case. Since you are watching this live from New York. No, not from New York at all. Also, it is not Saturday night. Wow, that didn't go as far as I was hoping it would. Okay. I do like the pigmen posed on the portal. That worked out well. Doing anything else on the server this stream besides another hub? Probably not. This is a pretty big project, and I haven't had a lot of time to think about how I want to do everything, so I'm making a lot of these calls as I go. Okay, so let's go ahead and repair some of these flaws that we have here. Okay. Let's see. Hey, what are you up to, says Suyash. I am working on my nether hub area down here. So, if we did want to have some light blue underneath here, actually. Well, that's going to be dark blue again, which we are out of. Dang it. It just figures that, like, I guess I could take the shears I have and go shear some more sheep. I'm running out of time, though. So, let's go upstairs real quick, and... Wait, no, the sheep farm is through that portal. This is going to start getting weird real quick, because I'm not going to remember these things. Am I going to build a scale model? Not entirely. Not exactly like that. We're building an entrancing entrance. That's a good one. Stormageddon. Okay, up we go to our sheep farm. Shears out. Okay, so we only need blue and white. Don't need to bother with the other colors right now, because we have plenty of everything. Whoops, don't need light blue. Do need dark blue. Dang it. Oh man. I did not sleep well last night. So, I gotta get extra sleep tonight. I gotta get extra sleep tonight, because I gotta fly out super early for Pax South tomorrow. But... So this video might not end up being edited before my flight. I might do some of this editing either on the plane or while I'm waiting in the airport. So this probably won't go up tomorrow morning. This will probably go up sometime in the next 2 or 3 days, but with traveling it's hard to get a video out. Yep, I'm going to Pax South. I'm excited. If anybody will be there, feel free to come say hello. Why am I in a Steve skin? I know, I'm really mad about that too. Something went wrong with the skin server or something. I don't know. It's the second day in a row that this has happened. Maybe they rejected my skin or something. Like, I didn't get an email. But, yeah, it's been 2 days and my skin is still not working. Okay, so... white wool... blue wool. Yeah, there's the right color sheep. Okay. Name MC has me in my normal skin. That's weird. Yeah, I don't... So the thing is, like, this is not something I normally check if my skin is working before I start the episode. And so, like, also it normally works. So I don't know how to fix it. Welcome, Kirk. Glad to have you today. We are in the last few minutes of our lunch break stream, because this is literally my lunch break from my job. I have a studio near where I work, and I'm going to be going back to the office to finish out my workday shortly. But we're gathering a little bit of wool so we can make some more changes here to our nether hub. Dang it. My elytra is not triggering properly. Okay. That doesn't feel like it points where I think it should point. If I'm standing on here, I don't know. Okay, let's switch back to recording mode. Anyway, I've gone ahead and I've shortened some more sheep so that I could get enough, Anyway, I started work on this carpet down here, and I realized even with all the wool I'd recovered out of that I still needed a little bit more. So I went and sheared some sheep, and I should be able to really kind of punch this up in a way that is visually satisfying and, you know, relatively conclusive. Please, guest, don't have just spawned next to me because I will be so mad. Okay. Good. No ghast immediately adjacent me. Excellent. Okay, so we're just going to take this white wool, run this through here. Yeah. So, I guess a few other things I should talk about real quick with that Dungeons & Dragons Quantum Leap idea is, like, you could possibly have one of the player characters be somebody in the present day who is, like, the holographic Al character from Quantum Leap. And then, like, can give the players messages from the DM about stuff that's happening or changing in the present as they change things. Although, that's kind of a weird role for a player character because it would be more like an assistant DM. So I could kind of see a lot of people not wanting to do that. I don't know. That'd be one element where the DM would either do it themselves or they'd see if maybe they shouldn't do it themselves. I don't know. Depends on your players. So much with Dungeons & Dragons depends on your players. So, that's fine. Let's see. Just a little bit more wool along here. Boom. This is finally all coming together. It's not perfect, but so few things are. What's that? We need a little bit more blue wool. For once, we actually have enough. Yay. It's amazing actually having enough wool to do something for a change. There we go. You know, I might add a little bit of, like, accent color or light under some of these. Like this one here, for example. Just hop in, drop that down there. I feel like this whole thing is going to be more interesting if there's kind of more variety in terms of how much light there is. Like, not every single corner would have a light under it, but some of them would. So then it'll kind of give it an ebb and flow to it. In some ways, it might look the most interesting if I put the light under the dark blue, because those are the darkest blocks, and it would kind of create an interesting contrast. So that means if I wanted to go this way to find the comparable block, wow, it would actually be way out here. But, you know, we can just kind of put one of these under here. Two of these, yay. Yeah, so it's a little better. Now, I've also got my brightness way the heck up. So if I turn it down to moody, oh wow, this is actually kind of really crazy. I can't even, where's my ladder well? Okay, this brightness is maybe too much, or too little, I should say, but yeah. If that's, I don't know if any other players on the server play that low a brightness, but I probably should keep that in mind while I'm evaluating how I do this in the future. So yeah, I guess one last kind of thing in closing is that I am going to be heading to Pax South, basically super early tomorrow morning, Friday, the first day of the convention. So by the time you see this episode, it might be a little bit past when I normally publish, because I might not have time to edit before we get on the plane and everything. But we'll see how my schedule works out. If any of you will be at PAX South, feel free to hit me up on Twitter. I'm happy to hang out, meet some folks, and say hello. So, anyway, until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring. Stop recording. Facecam back on. Okay. Well, I think I actually got to get going. It's getting pretty close to 1 o'clock, so my lunch break's almost up. But thank you guys so much for joining me for the stream. You can follow me on Twitter for updates about streams, about YouTubes, or about just anything in general. So, until next time stream, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring.